A video of an Osu play set by a South Korean player flying Tuna appeared on Twitter. Some people say that he returned from the army for a short vacation, but judging by his account in the game, he has been offline for the last 6 months and his nickname has dimmed. Turning to his girlfriend for information, Annie, we received this answer. Yes, he is on vacation, but for only 15 days. The Korean military is allowed to leave for a maximum of 15 days. His army treats him well. Obviously, he's tired, but overall he's good. He'll be back on June 15th. He won't be actively streaming playing Osu, because he just wants to relax and spend time with family and friends. He will officially return the same time as he said earlier, May 28th, 2023. Perhaps he will have a couple more vacations from the army. Another South Korean player, Doomsday Fanboy, tweeted that he's leaving for the army on June 6th. This means that another strong Korean player won't be able to participate in OWC 2022 if he does not use the karcher method. Karcher himself wrote that the army is postponed for the next year, which means that he will be able to play on the upcoming Grand Tournament. Last year, South Korea was represented by Karuna, Flying Tuna, Zyson Minus, Doomsday Fanboy, Noob KJK, Renkj, Karcher, and Mace. Imagine that Karcher could not miss the army, then half of the last year's South Korean squad would not be able to participate in the annual OWC tournament. The absence of these players would greatly weaken the Korean national team, but there is also a plus in this, as we'll see new players and perhaps some of them will be able to show a really good game. Perhaps Mr. Top Left would have a desire to perform this year, but his participation is under a big question. Let's touch a little of the high-speed meta. If you look at the top of the leaderboard, almost all the players in it are speed players, with the exception of Whitecat, Vaxi, and Rupirtion. Fire Rage tweeted, "The speed meta for PP is starting to feel really boring." In the discussion of this post, some spoke positively, but there were also those who would disagree with this. But what do you think? Write your opinion in the comments.
About a month ago, a thread was posted on Reddit with the following question: why are jumps no longer relevant in the rank section? Replying to this thread, Zexar stated, "I'm gonna let the PP mappers in on a secret. There's a formerly sleeper jump pattern that is overpowered in the current build. If the right song or map abuses it, it will probably require an adjustment to the algorithm. I only noticed it because one of my maps gained a sizable buff in star rating, and when I checked the difficulty curves, I saw that it was one of the relatively easier patterns that contributed to the large buff." And on June 8th, Utami FC'd the newly ranked Zane map mapped by Lass for 1156 PP. Under the old PP system, an SS on the map with double time and hidden would have only given 996 PP, and with the current rework, it is an astonishing 1318. The ranking of this map caused a lot of drama, since this map abuses patterns that XR wrote about. You can read more in the comments section under the map. Top players also gave their opinions on this. Shimon tweeted, "I'm about to get 1.3k on the new last map and suddenly people are going to start saying how boring the aim meta is again." And later, Emmerich tweeted, "This last map is boring as fuck. Somebody else get PP record." But to nobody's surprise, 10 hours later set a new PP record on it with 1241 PP. He then tweeted, "This PP record is really hard, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is harder than Sungla 3 mod." I also managed to talk to Utami and find out his opinion about the map, future plans for the game, as well as why he does not stream his gameplay. The Corsairs Closed 2022 tournament has ended. In the final, Utami and Zudinator met. Utami won with a score of 7-5, but the final match did not become the most important event of the tournament. The incident that occurred in the grand finals of the losers bracket between Mathi and Utami became the next popular drama this week, after the Zane incident. What happened in the Grand Finals match? Mathi deliberately threw several maps, and even Utami himself was at a loss and wrote Y on the last map during the game. Osu support made an announcement on their Twitter. Mathi has been issued with a 6-month tournament ban due to his third major instance of misconduct in officially supported Osu tournament. Disrupting entire events by intentionally underperforming in high-stakes matches is disappointing to everybody who takes things seriously. Some sided with the staff's decision, while some sided with Mathi. Here's what, for example, Area tweeted. "I'm sad this has to happen since Mathi is one of the players I respect and most love competing against. However, saying, 'I'm happy staff is being consistent' leaves a bad taste in my mouth because banning players in the first place is a bad decision, in my opinion." He then extended this tweet saying, "If anything, it should be up to tournament organizers instead of the staff. Banning players like this can literally push them away from a game they love most. It sucks. No winners in this situation." Mathi himself apologized to Utami and to the entire staff of the tournament, and he wrote a more detailed answer to the situation. But in short, he stated that he was in a bad mood and decided to play the match. It was only on the last 2 maps where he decided to purposely throw, and after which he explained everything to the tournament staff. Utami also stated his position on the current situation. "Please don't give any hate to Mathi. I maybe shouldn't have said this, but it's unfortunate that the match didn't live up to the hype. Only love should go his way. It's not like it's the end of the world, and we have a lot of life ahead of us. Unfortunately, this year Mathi will not be able to play for his country at OWC 22, as his situation is very similar to the situation with Rectigons last year. It is possible that something else will change, but we will keep you informed."